Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Dan.
So, one of the things that I'm really going to do in this video, and I'm going to try to do it relatively quickly, is... When I say relatively quickly, it's under an hour. And
Dan's quick.
Yeah, right. So, not Nesquik, but Dan's quick. See, that's a good one with the bunny. Mm-hmm. So, can you write that one down? Mm-hmm. Instead of Nesquik, Dan's quick?
Yeah.
Okay. And Danielle. Like, instead of Dan Scream, Danielle. Okay. So, that being said, one of the things that I've realized is I have to explain my art in order for the audience to catch up. Because, exactly, Jamie, now you're getting it. Now, before I begin, I almost forgot. Let me just start out by saying a quick dad joke.
Dad joke of the day. Golf
edition. Why do golfers wear 2 pairs of trousers?
I have no idea.
Jamie, I'm going to ask you again. Why? Why do they wear 2 pairs of pants? Well, Jamie.
Think of the birdie.
You know, can you imagine if they get a hole in one?
Duh. So right there, obvious. Nice.
Excellent.
Right.
See, I had to change that one a little bit because in case they get a hole in one. But that's the lawyer edition. See, I would say that would be the lawyer edition.
It is the lawyer edition.
Dad jokes, the lawyer edition.
The lawyer.
All right. So, because like, you know, you wear pants not just when you get a hole in one, but when you're a lawyer as well.
It's true.
So dads that are golfers and lawyers would love this joke.
They would.
But I had to change it because Jamie's not a lawyer. And neither am I. And that being said, I wanted to explain my art a little bit.
Okay.
And I want to explain something that normally I don't do. All right?
Okay.
See, in the video that was labeled 6, you have the gray man himself. What's his name? Ryan Gosling. That Ryan Gosling is so hot right now.
So hot right now.
Now, Ryan Gosling plays a guy named 6 in the Sierra Project. Mm-hmm. Now, that is a movie. It's an excellent movie. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Adult, themed, 18 and over, in line with 999, which was excellent as well. Now, that being said, I made the reference to Ryan Gosling in 6 only in terms of me teaching my son very complicated lessons such as, hey, you got to listen to dad via some extraordinary set of circumstances. For example, in the show Arrested Development, George Bluth, the dad, was known always as a man who set his kids up for these, because he had a one-armed man that worked for him, a guy with one arm.
Yes.
So he would constantly set up scenarios where he would get his arm chopped off.
That
Pretty original.
That one was amazing.
But imagine if you could take it a step further. Mm-hmm. Imagine if all you have to do is scratch the back of your head, and your son is reminded of a time where he inadvertently was the recipient of 6 stitches because his mother, and his brother did not want to listen to dad. Now, the next tile pick that you will see is based on this tile pick. Because in order to understand that I didn't pick a random human being with a knife in their mouth, I picked a human being that Jamie recommended me. In order to understand what just happened is that Jamie was incepted with a thought by my brain, and she had that thought in the form of a song. Yeah. That song is The Final Countdown by Europe. That song is the main theme for Job's magic trick.
Oh my god, it is?
Yes.
No way.
The entire thing
was well,
well, why don't you just YouTube it?
What is it?
just YouTube the final countdown right now and see what comes up.
Okay.
And this will allow us to both be copywritten and avoid copywritten. Because what we're doing right now is we're not disseminating the content, we're using the content the way it's supposed to be used. The entire purpose of content is to enjoy it. And if we are enjoying it on camera, then we are inadvertently advertising for the company that made it.
Interesting. Do you know? Sorry, go ahead.
Can you just follow directions?
Yeah, so I Googled
said
the
YouTube.
song.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube the song.
I know.
I mean,
said,
YouTube the words. I'm sorry. I thought you said Google the word, the final.
I might have said it, but I didn't.
The final count.
You know, I might have said it, and you, the audience, gets to know whether or not this bickering, this is endless bickering of me and Jamie, is actually me saying YouTube it or Google it. In my opinion, I might have said Google it, but YouTube the final countdown.
I did.
Now, space, G-O-B, Gob, George Oscar Bluth. Now play the second one
Oh my.
and make it loud. A queen of diamonds disappeared. Can you just watch it yourself?
Yeah.
No one asked you to do this. No one asked you to turn it around.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
Oh my god, he's moonwalking in slides.
just pause it. This is what happens with me and Jamie all day long. And a lot of that has to do with me being under a massive amount of stress and her just not following direction. I had asked her to look at it just herself to enjoy it. I had told the audience that we're using it. She took it, turned it around to you, the audience. That is not what her directions were.
No.
That is what she does. And that is why there are many reasons why the issues that I have are both my fault and not my fault. But I don't just blame Jamie for everything. I blame her for not following the most basic rudimentary instructions because her mind is elsewhere. And that issue can easily be resolved by following a basic set of guidelines under a book that you are publishing. Now, I have no interest in this book, but the name of the book is The Goyisha Methodology. Because that's what Jamie is. She's not a geisha. She's a goy and a geisha together. Goyisha. Goyisha.
The way you say it.
Goyisha. That's Mitchell Blask. He does an amazing guy. He's a very funny guy. Especially when everyone's in a good mood and everything's great. And the point of all of this is that you have a great skill where you bring to the table the ability for me to say, hey Jamie, who thought of the song, The Final Countdown? Me or you?
Me.
So how'd you do that?
It was the weirdest thing.
Magic.
Yeah,
It's just
it was
magic.
the weirdest thing.
Right,
I just
okay.
started singing the song. I don't know.
Right. So, in general, I have all 6 tile picks ready to go in my brain. That's how
true.
I work. Jamie doesn't understand that she has told me that she has watched this on a number of occasions, let alone the fact that she was the one that introduced the 5th tile.
To what?
That she is the one that introduced the 5th tile pick.
Yeah.
Okay? And obviously, there's no 7 because 6 is afraid of 7
Yeah.
and 7's a bully, and everyone knows why why 6 is afraid of 7. Why is 6 afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. So 7's a fucked up individual, but 6 is cool. And 5 features a knife in the magician's mouth, but that doesn't mean that I am a magician with a knife in his mouth, or an idiot who needs his father to show him that if you do not follow basic instructions, you will lose your arm. My boys are not idiots. But sometimes Dad has to go, above and beyond the call of duty to teach you guys a lesson. And that lesson has been taught. I believe that everyone has learned their lesson. I believe the lesson is over. And I believe that I want to summarize this video in the same way as I am done teaching people lessons, that you will hear me talking about Jamie's cousin. It used to be her ex-husband, but based on a series of ex parte court orders, it looks like she's remarried again. So Jamie's husband's cousin, who is a financier, and he does well in business, and he did something really, really messed up, in my opinion. I think he did something really messed up, and I could easily have a conversation. And I think that it's really, really wrong. But do you want to know what the truth is? And I would like to say it on camera.
Sure.
The truth is, I don't want to have any more conflicts with him. I don't want to have any more conflicts with anyone.
Yeah.
And the truth,
I don't either.
I would love to be able to resolve the conflict and just work with the guy. Like, that's the truth. Especially because I've never met him. When you don't meet a human being, you need to understand that the only thing you know about him is what other people say. Things known as hearsay. I do not believe in hearsay. And the reason why I would give everyone a chance is because imagine a man like that who has been proven to be successful in his own right, and someone like me who has been also proven to be successful. Not working against each other for some phantom reason because we are pouring gasoline on each other's egos, but working together. Imagine that. We resolve the conflict of the initial lawsuit, and we work together. And whether or not we work together forever, that's not the important part. But first we have to meet. And in the movie Six, Lloyd Hansen and the main good guy, they have a phone conversation, okay? There's some funny interactions in there. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to work together on any projects. So that is obvious. But they gave each other a chance to speak to each other.
Yeah.
With me, I will calmly be open and honest that I have to file litigation against people because of the people that work for them and the actions that I believe have been taken without express written permission or consultation from me, which is a complete disaster of a ripoff of certain concepts. In particular, the application and direct usage of your own basic business models in order to pay yourself rent in reverse via purchasing of certain assets below market value and arbitrarily raising them through running your own businesses internally. Does that make any sense? Thanks. And you see, the rest of it, and I made it very specifically broad and ambiguous because, unfortunately, it had to get to court. But to get out of court, which is really what you want to do, you must present viable options of resolution prior to draining resources of the U.S. government. And here comes the reveal. Like any good magic trick, if I would have told you in the beginning of this episode, you're about to see a magic trick, everyone would turn it off. But if you have no idea that you're watching a magic trick, I can calmly give you the reveal, the mind-blowing aspect of this entire thing. You see, we live in a digital world, which means that any human being, not just a really intelligent one like myself with limited resources, but extremely high intellect and experience in running businesses in conjunction with the zeitgeist of what our society needs. Now, no human being could ever utilize ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence with a named moniker in conjunction with being a pro se litigant. Ever. I own the rights to that. Forever. But anyone could use ChatGPT. Right, Jamie?
Right.
Now, the real interesting part of this whole thing is that by the neutralization of our society's intellectual output, which means that any human with an idea can use ChatGPT and make himself sound brilliant. So any moron that wants to file a lawsuit has to do nothing more than download ChatGPT, and they can sue anyone they want. And that's going to become a problem. And the solution for that is that the human being is going to be required to film a series of videos that show intellectual competence, understanding of the legal process, swearing themselves in, and in order to understand that, Jamie, are you busy?
I was checking to make sure I got court today.
The point of this, Jamie, is I'm going to cut this short, and I'm really frustrated because you were given very, very specific instructions. Those instructions are just not followed. And what I was basically trying to get at is that in order to avoid the reality that artificial intelligence is amazing in the onset of neutralization of rights, it's great. But if a system is bogged down with endless conflicts that are routinely sent up the chain of command and brought to the court, it will be a disaster. In order to resolve that, there needs to be a YouTube / some form of communication where a human being must answer a series of basic questions by themselves to show that they are competent enough to represent themselves. And I invented that via this YouTube channel. You see,
What kind of questions do you ask them? No?
you're not paying attention to anything.
What are you talking about? What kind
Really?
of questions?
You are?
Yeah.
What is the reason? Let me ask you a question. What is the reason why I have this YouTube channel in conjunction with the legal process?
To document everything.
No, that's not true, and that's why I'm telling you you're not paying attention.
Okay, so then
You're doodling like as if you're in English class. This is math class. It's completely different. I'm going to explain to you something right now. The reason why this YouTube channel exists and is valuable is so that you and I are not accused of just using ChatGPT to do whatever we want. I practice and study litigation, oration, and proper communication in the legal sense. I understand the application of case law, and I very much know how to orate myself in a very, very correct, properly legal sense. It is nothing more than Les Grossman and my cousin Vinny combined. But Jamie doesn't understand that her role is to follow basic instructions in order to expedite my ability to end the personal litigation portion of this fucking disaster and convert my inventions into a monetary process. Which means, Jamie, Resnick, Hagman, whatever you want to call yourself, that my frustration stems from the fact that you are not able to understand that a human being and artificial intelligence are very different in the decision-making process. And that is the most important thing that a pro se litigant must represent, that they understand that they're not abusing the system. And once that's established, they are nothing more than representing themselves as an attorney in court. But they must be able to spit hot fire, as we call it, meaning that a human being must be able to represent themselves in court. They cannot allow ChatGPT to cover the fact that there is an oral argument that is a 200-year-old process that has been going on in the United States, and ChatGPT will not replace it with a million motions. Do you understand that?
I do.
And that's a very, very important part of this process, and that is where the difference between Casper, my artificial intelligence that I've created, versus ChatGPT, which is OpenAI's, anytime anyone can use it.
For anything.
For anything. You could sound absolutely brilliant. I use it, but I don't use Casper for everything. Casper is solely designed for the legal application and the business reverse engineering process, which means that I think backwards and forwards. Casper's business element is designed backwards. He already knows that it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and his job is to assist me by shifting the oars back and forth. like in Crew. The entire point of this channel and why it is so important in conjunction with the legal filings is that this channel will disprove anyone that says, hey, Dan Reese is nothing more than a user of ChatGPT. Do you understand?
Yes, 100%.
Orating back to the audience.
You didn't use it for a long time.
Meaning that I win based on merit
Yes.
and my skill set.
100%.
And not
You studied
on
the law.
filings.
You studied it as you went in. You studied it every time you went in for every single hearing. Every time you wrote a motion, every time you learned about a new case, you would read, you would learn about the process.
The point is that human beings who want to represent themselves must also be
Educate
able to,
themselves.
unless you have a handicap that prevents you from communicating for some reason, which means that there are human beings that simply have very serious issues with both public speaking and anxiety and things like that, and just because those people do not have the resources that, say, the adversaries or large corporations, whatever they're going against, that doesn't mean that they need to be required to speak on the level that I do. But it does mean that human beings who are accused of being litigious or overly litigious must account for that action. And this channel is an absolute, irrefutable proof that the words and the information that is being disseminated in my litigation is a direct correlation to my own thoughts and brain wavelengths. That is because artificial intelligence is so good that, in my opinion, the most basic ChatGPT far exceeds the expectations of a small law firm. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, like the amount of time that.
So in time, I'm just interrupting just to make it go faster because I don't want to keep doing this all day. And you can check right now whatever you want to check. But the whole point of what I was trying to get at is, like, look, if you're not able to get it, the audience is not able to get it. If you can't understand that this channel is a replacement for all the haters that want to point to Dan Reese and say that he is nothing more than a ChatGPT user fluffing his shit, it's impossible. It's impossible to say that. You could watch me for 30 seconds and say, well, shit, this guy actually fucking knows what he's talking about.
You do?
I know. But if I didn't have this channel, there is no way, no amount of paperwork can be proven or disproven of whether or not artificial intelligence is used or not used.
Yeah.
And that's a very important element of this entire thing. That in the future, artificial intelligence will be assisting pro se litigants and law firms alike in order to equalize the playing field. But what artificial intelligence will not do is that it will not replace judges and it will not replace lawyers. So if you don't have the ability to check off all the boxes that a modern day court system needs in order for a human being to have all the resources, including a matrices, opinion, historical data, all the things that a judge will eventually learn and need to learn to use, then you're not going to be able to represent yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. Until artificial intelligence catches up and it's purely a fact-based game. We are not there yet, and we're not going to be there for a while because there is a question that I can't answer. I can only answer when my youngest son turns 18 because I already know that we live in a world of lies. But the question is the juxtaposition that I'll pose once my boys are back in my life. And I'll answer it when my youngest son turns 18. And when that happens, that is when I enter my third phase of my life, also known as the fourth little pig. And the fourth little pig is because I've broken up my life into three phases. There is my adolescence, where I was under the care of my parents. Then there's my youth and my early marriage, which is when I was with Mallory. And now I'm alone. And my journey alone is really going to be taking me to finish the really amazing gift that I've been given, which is two beautiful boys that are healthy and are some of the most brilliant young men I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not going to fuck that up because I've been given very clear instructions. Because I've made one fault. But a double fault, well, that's inexcusable. And I hope we both have learned a lesson. Mm-hmm. And I want to just quickly apologize for the way I've acted And I don't believe that you deserve a thrashing or a yelling or any of that stuff. But I do believe that if you're going to be actively sitting here and being a part of the show, either contribute or please clean up the kitchen further. Because to me, it looks spotless. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Dan Reeses. I'm really sorry for being a dick.